Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from Calyx Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from Calyx Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calyxsolutions.io.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben. Here from the road, on my way to Florida, from the swamp, Washington, D.C. And my God, is it ever a swamp. Now, the one thing I will say is Washington, D.C. is only a little bit more retarded than New York. Because now New York is the proud owner of a socialist, a open socialist Muslim mayor. Patrick, how hard is it for you to resist the urge to move to New York?
I'm fighting it tooth and nail. Yeah, I don't know if I can keep myself out of New York City. It's the city that's going to bring down the state. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to watch. As a great mind once said, people get the governments they deserve. And New York City's been on the path to socialism for a long time. When they started rent controls and thwarted capitalism from being the driver of what rent prices would be, rent costs would be. That's when everything started with the, what about my stuff? Where's my stuff? I need my stuff. Well, now the No Kings crowd in New York City has gotten the king, where's my stuff?
Yes, that's what's so hilarious is they don't realize in a socialist organized government of a city, the king is the mayor. It's they don't realize, and what I'm really not really worried about, well, I guess I am in a way, is this is going to lead to the left is just going to go more left, because they'll look at New York and go, oh, look, we won. We won as an open socialist. All right, everyone, take off your masks. We're good. We can totally come out as complete socialist and complete communist, and we'll win. And what has me worried is socialism always has a good couple of years in it, because they launch all of the programs, they do the celebrations, and the collapse is about 2 or 4 years after you really implement it all. So they are literally going to have a few years where it looks like it's working, and then it just completely falls apart.
Well, I think you would be correct if they didn't start out in the deficit that they're in.
That's a
I,
great point.
I mean, New York City's already in a severe hole, and they're spending millions of dollars on illegal immigrants, and not taking care of their own. So Mamdani is only going to exacerbate this. He's going to be throwing fuel on the fire, and when it comes time for the state of the city address and talking about the budget, they're just going to be pounding sand and look to Albany to bail them out. And Albany's going to go, you know what? We've had so many people leave this state. We got nothing. Put on a bake sale.
Absolutely. But I have quite a few friends who actually live in New York, and I mean New York City, who are already a large group of them are actually looking at houses in Texas, and I don't think they realize that a lot of the wealthy people, they can just leave, and not only them leave, the companies they work for and own can leave, and this is Rome. Rome has fallen because that's exactly what happened with Rome. Is now I did have a conversation with a friend of mine who lives up in New York, and this is just me saying this, but this guy would probably, I think he might be right. I think, or he thinks, New York is going to launch its own cryptocurrency. Now, if that happens, that changes the game. Because, and I've said this in the past, because what they're going to do is they are going to bring it down, and then in an emergency, I think New York, and like I said, we actually might be wrong, but I don't see any other way out. But watch for New York to launch their own cryptocurrency. I know.
Yeah, I don't know that would be the salvation. It might be a start, but they're going to be losing too many people. And the notion that they're going to Texas, I mean, Governor Abbott just said the other day that anybody from New York, don't bother coming here. We're going to throw a tariff on you. Now, how legitimate? He did. He said that. Whether he can or not, I mean, that's going to go to court. I know it is. But the folks in New York might want to look at, Tennessee is a possibility. It's got 4 seasons.
Yeah, Florida.
Or Florida. Either one. I mean, folks in New York would probably be more comfortable in Florida than they would be in Tennessee. But Texas, man, that's a hard switch. Because now people can legally carry.
Yeah. That's what you just said on what Texas had told people that's exactly what happened prior to the Civil War with the South. Is the South was implementing tariffs in a little bit of a different way. They were raising prices on cotton sold to people up in the north. They also did it with tobacco because they knew what was happening. They knew exactly what was going on, and so they would charge a higher rate for cotton and that and other products on the Yankees. In fact, if I recall correctly, I think they called it the Yankee tax, was something like that, and that's exactly it's Texas.
You're cutting out. You're going to have to put your aluminum foil helmet on. Hello? All right. Well, we seem to have lost him. I have a couple of ways that I can go. Let's see. Well, we can talk about the other results in the elections that hit yesterday. I'm expecting he'll jump back in here in a second, but the others were Abigail Spanberger won the governorship in Virginia, which is not really surprising. And Jay Jones, took the lieutenant governor spot or AG. I can't remember which one it was, but he's the cat that had made comments about hoping that the Republicans died. Very aggressive and absent of social decorum. Anyway, Virginia is going to get what they deserve also. Interestingly, they had made a move to the right and got yanked back to the left. And that's okay. Most of the people from D.C. live in Virginia anyhow. Some in Maryland, but most in Virginia. And then we had California Proposition 50, which allows them to redistribute their congressional gerrymander their congressional districts. That passed. So, here he comes. Maybe. Bueller. Oh, there he is.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I think that my phone overheated.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden, it's like your iPhone is too hot. We're shutting your shit off. All right, where was I? Texas, and how they're basically saying we don't want you New Yorkers down here.
No blue bellies. No blue bellies.
Absolutely, because it's socialism is a disease. It's a mental illness. And is the early symptoms of socialism, because once once you've reached the point where you are so retarded that you're a liberal, you're just on the verge of full weed retardation of actually being a socialist. Then you go lick the window fucking retarded, and then you go full communist. And Texas wants nothing to do with that.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So how do you see this really playing out? Because unfortunately, a lot of the wealthy people in New York are who helped him actually get elected. And let's not forget who his number one money source was. CARE. CARE is a Muslim Brotherhood organization, and they are who gave him the most money. Let's keep that in mind.
that's an interesting question. I think well, it's obviously going to leak outside of New York. We're going to see efforts in Illinois. We're probably going to see these types of moves in other cities. I think Massachusetts is going to see it in Boston. They've already moved in that direction, despite the fact that ICE has been busting folks left and right, and there are drug deals being run out of the governor's office in Massachusetts. They had one of the directors had been busted for running drugs through that building. Yeah.
Super.
Yeah. Eddie, chime in on this one. You probably know more about it than I do. Ed Albert is outside of Boston, but they have some serious problems too. And the folks in Massachusetts are embracing this crazy shit. There seems to be no spine there. And I'd imagine there's going to be some other northeastern states that do the same thing. Maine is questionable. Yeah. And we're just going to have to see folks fall on their face, because that's what's going to start in New York City. I don't think it's going to be that long before it starts to hemorrhage and their stress points brought to the surface, particularly with respect to the state is going to be crying, we can't deal with this. We can't deal with the weight of New York City and what it's putting on the state budget, drawing resources away from other areas. Now, is the rest of the state going to turn on New York City? Probably not. Buffalo is left-leaning, so they're not going to go anywhere. And then you got Jersey across the state line. They just put Mikey in.
Yeah. It's
that one I don't get.
We've reached. Yeah, I don't either. It's I wonder, is the left, are they going to look at this and go, well, this is where we're going? And is the average left, are they going to go more left? Or do you think that they're actually going to try and rein him in and actually pull him more away from really what he's wanting to do.
Oh no, I think they're all in now. I think they're all in on him. I mean, Hillary came out today and was making comments about how happy she is that the Democrats have taken New York City, New Jersey, Virginia, talking about the strong women leaders in Virginia and New Jersey, talking about how great it is that California had their Proposition 50 pass. They're all in, and then you got the AOC's crowd of socialist knuckleheads. They've been behind Mamdani, as has Bernie. So these guys are out in the open now, and
Yeah.
the bigger issue is, I think, the midterms that are coming up, and how are the Republicans going to be able to implicate the association of their Democratic competition as being handholders of the far, far left who are taking us in a socialist direction. I think ultimately that's going to be the responsibility of the Republican Party, is to identify these folks and call them out and say, this is the path that they're choosing. Do you really want to be on this? I mean, in the cyber stuff conversation that we have today, I have a topic that is on cryptocurrencies in India, and there was a judgment that was made. Waziz exchange was a rather large exchange that got hit with a $250 million hack, and what they wanted to do, they filed a motion in Singapore, and the Singapore court gave them a favorable decision that said that they could go in and apply a utilitarian approach where everybody who was an account holder suffered a loss to equal the $250 million. So the exchange itself wasn't going to be penalized for this, but all of the account holders had to participate and submit portions of their holdings in order to get to the $250 million amount. Well, there was an account holder in India. She held XRP, about 3,500 XRP, equaling $9,000 at the time. She filed a motion in Madras, and it was sustained on her behalf, saying that it's property. India identifies cryptocurrency as property, and that nobody has the right to take that in an effort to regain a level footing financially as a corporation. Your responsibility was to safeguard the holdings of all of your account holders, and you failed to do that. So, no, you can't stick it to the people of India. So, and my point is that this type of mentality is going to become universal in New York City and New York State. And that if you're sticking around, you're going to get stuck. You're going to shoulder the burden of bad decisions that were made by politicians in order to attract votes on their behalf. And so, suck it up, Buttercup.
So let me get this right. They were going to socialize the losses of all of the people who held currency on the exchange.
Correct.
Isn't that what they? Okay, so
that's correct. So
a whole lot
So
That sounds a whole lot like what they actually did over in Greece.
yeah, and so if nothing else, this is a cautionary tale for you folks who are holding cryptos on exchanges. Get that stuff off of an exchange.
Yes, that I keep on telling people, get one of our laptops and keep your money, your cryptos, your Bitcoin, your Litecoin, even if you like XRP, get it off the exchanges because the exchanges are the honeypots for not only hackers but governments.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what I see. That's what I see coming. Is there's going to be a bunch of other cities and states that get dragged down by this mentality, and anybody who's residing in those cities and states are going to find themselves in this redistribution of penalties, and then that's what they are. Yeah. So get the hell out now.
Yeah, it's this is why we are in cryptos. This is why I have been saying this for a while now. We're at war. The enemy just took over New York. They just took over New York, and and now the enemies of freedom and of cryptos, they're in they're they are in they are in aggressive mode. And now that they have won New York, they're only going to rinse and repeat exactly what he did. I'm going to give you free buses. We're going to have grocery stores that are ran by New York City, also known as fucking bread lines. And it's and for some reason, I blame the educational system. This is the equivalent of grown children. We have warned these liberals over and over again. Socialism is not good. Look at what it leads to. Look at what it has done. Look at how many people have actually been killed because of socialism and also of communism. It isn't the war that kills them. It's the system that kills. And unfortunately, it looks like we are going to have to learn this lesson again. Humanity, for some reason, has such a short fucking memory that now New York is going to have to learn the lessons of Leningrad. They're going to have to learn the lessons of the Soviet Union all over again.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Well.
Now, the question is does Florida, Texas, Tennessee, do we allow them to actually bring us down with them, or do we separate? What do you think? Do you think we're in? Do you think we're in an economic civil war? And if we are, as
Yeah, I am inclined to think that I don't see him leaving. I mean, Texas is the only one that's really in a position to do it as a republic. The others are bound, um, and so that would have to be by force. Um, Secondly, I don't know that Tennessee is really as adamant to the right in their position as Florida and Texas are. Now, Texas has to contend with um, uh, they have um, they have the state has to deal with um, some movements internally that are being amplified by the migration out of California and Washington, um, with people moving to damn it, where's University of Texas? Austin. Austin has, for quite some time, had a faction that's saying we're going to defund the police. We're going to provide cashless bail systems. So they've been kind of a sinkhole, if you will, for the rest of the state of Texas in terms of its oppositional positioning. Other than that, it's gone rather smoothly as a conservative state. It didn't flip. It didn't go purple like they thought it would in the 24 elections. Florida has its geographic locations where folks are a little more liberal, but by and large, the state has, through legislation, solidified the positions that don't allow cities to go against the state of Florida without some serious ramifications. Tennessee, though, I think there's a liberal side to Tennessee that not a lot of folks have recognized. We see Oracle is moving to Nashville, to Tennessee. There's been a boatload of companies that have moved from the Northeast into Tennessee because of their tax laws and the implications that it has for their employees. And they're not aggressively going after corporations as a means to finance the state's efforts and the progressive state's efforts back in the Northeast. Do this on a regular basis. Tennessee saying we're not doing that. But there's some underpinnings, some flags that are being raised that say, yeah, we're not going all the way right. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out for Tennessee. Mississippi is another state that's saying that they're going to get rid of their state tax. I don't know how Mississippi can do that, though. To be honest with you, they're suggesting that the offset from businesses moving to Mississippi and the other taxes within the state will make the necessary adjustment. But Mississippi is at the bottom of the scale when it comes to education, when it comes to health, care. So it's a great idea to use as a draw to the state of Mississippi. It would be a great help for the state of Mississippi, but until they get on equal footing with some of these other no tax states, I find it an act of desperation. So I'm not quite sure that there's going to be a mass flood of folks um, going into the state of Mississippi. It's a beautiful state. Just drove through it the other day, but I wouldn't live there. I would not live there. Lovely postcards. That's about the extent of it. This was an interesting one that I was looking at. Who's the senator? Gallego is the senator from Arizona. And I was reading some articles about Arizona being a red state. And I got to tell you, I don't know that statement's true anymore. Both your senators are Democrat. Your governor is a Democrat. The AG is a Democrat. And I think this goes back to some of the statements that were being made earlier on by folks that elections are rigged. I'd have to say that's there's a lot of indications from the state of Arizona that is true. Now we have to remember that the governor used to be the Secretary of State.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, the governor used to be the Secretary of State. She oversaw her own election into the top office, and has been done. And they've been doing a pretty solid job of making sure that only Democrats win the top spots in the state of Arizona. So the claim that it's a red state, I think, is horse muffins. So yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean? He's saying I could retire in Mississippi if I had 20 grand. I'd be a king in Mississippi if I had 20 grand. We were down in Alabama, Dauphin Island, which is just off of Mobile, and this past weekend, and drove back. You didn't hear this, but it was an interesting drive. You came up mostly through Mississippi, and then hit the corner of Tennessee through Memphis, my favorite city. Oh, if they really wanted to do nuclear testing, they should do it there. Arkansas, and then back up through Missouri. But yes, Randy, Arizona did steal those. So that was it. It was an interesting drive in Mississippi. What's weird? We drove down through there. We went to Tupelo and then straight down to Mobile. I think the last hour and 15 minutes we were in Alabama, but I could not find coffee to save my soul in the state of Mississippi. Could not. And I think that's because of all the Baptists that live there. Not a knock on Baptists, but they just don't think we should be drinking coffee. That's a tenet of the faith that needs to be changed. So anyway, let's see. We were on the subject of Florida, Tennessee, and Texas pulling out of the union.
Yeah. Do you see that where we find out is where people basically separate?
I talked about what I thought about it. Yeah. And your audio is pixelating. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's actually wrap this up because apparently I'm in a very bad area, which I didn't know a large, really large highway would ever have of that area, but apparently they do.
Fair enough.
Oh, all right, where can everyone see us in about an hour?
Sure. You need a crypto laptop or a Liberty laptop to see the show, because we only share this show with our clients. It's need to know information, a lot of different topics. We talk about different cryptos, the financials, the technicalities associated with them, what's going on in terms of the administration of these. We talk about indictments, we talk about convictions, we talk about regulations, we talk about a whole lot of things. We also direct you to some sources for further information. That said, the way you get that subscription is going to the portal, the Calyx Solutions portal. There's a Calyx Cyber Suite that you would go into and sign up for the subscription. Either one, there are two, and you will end up getting an email before the show that gives you a link to the live show. You'll be able to get in there and look at archives over time. So feel free to jump in and look at other things that we've talked about in the past. So.
Yep. And once again, guys, we have given you examples over and over again. You need to get your cryptos off the exchanges. Exchanges are not good because of how they're set up and where they're set up. There's a reason they're launching our hotel and our in El Salvador. Just a heads up. All right, everyone, go check us out at www.calyxsolutions.io and check out our laptops. You'll love the Crypto laptop and the Liberty laptop. They are made just for you guys. All right, Patrick, I love you. And I'll see you in about an hour, brother.
Sounds good. Love you. Be safe. Bye now. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Introducing the Liberty Laptop, your gateway to online anonymity. Engineered with your privacy in mind, the Liberty Laptop comes equipped with cutting-edge security features, ensuring that your data remains yours and yours alone. No more worries about your personal information being shared without consent. Say goodbye to prying eyes and third-party snoops. Enjoy your online freedom with advanced privacy settings, protecting your every digital move, all at your fingertips. With the Liberty Laptop, you control what others see and don't see. We customize your privacy settings and let only what matters most to you be shared. No more concerns about unwarranted surveillance. We put the power back in your hands. No unwanted access through the laptop's camera and microphone. Powered by the latest technology, the Liberty Laptop ensures performance while respecting your personal boundaries. The Liberty Laptop. Your control. Your privacy. Your world. Visit calyxsolutions.io to experience true personal freedom today.